Hope we're all doing well. Welcome to therapy on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. After the Blues get done by the Gold Coast Suns, 8 goals 9.57 to 11 goals 10.76. So surprised, but not surprised, but not. Living in hope that one day they'll figure it out. One day they'll find that sweet spot with their effort and stay consistent with it. But today was not the day. And this year has not been the year. And we're going to move on. Welcome to the fan cams. I'm going to put the link in the description in the comments shortly. If anybody would like to come on and have a chat, hit the link. I can hold about 12 people. And after that, it fills up. So just be patient. If you get in, you get in. If you don't, you don't. Let's have a chat. You guys know the boundaries. You guys never cross them here. Keep it on the footy. Keep it on the performance, because that was fucking piss week. And say it how it's got to be said. Share your thoughts. Pommy.
My brother. How are you?
I know. It's not surprising. I know. But I'm so surprised that they did that. I can't believe they did that today, man. I can't believe they did that to us today. Why this week?
I went against my rule, didn't I?
You did.
And started to believe. I genuinely believed. You've got a board push happening. You've got people wanting Teagar. You've got Clarkson in. You've got all that. And last week, they did the unthinkable. They went back to that 2019 way. And I suppose looking back at it now, Bob Betts coming in kind of said it all, didn't it? Teague was going to go back to the method that he knew. Man, I am so sorry to everyone that I got up and about. I can't apologize. I'll put my hand up. I wasn't wrong. I was fucking wrong. And I'm sorry if I gave anyone false hope or belief, because we just simply played into their hands. You bomb it long. I mean, how many times did they go down the right-hand side? How many times with that switch kick inside into the corridor? Oh, my God. I am so sorry, though, to everyone. Honestly, so sorry to everyone. If anyone got up and about or anyone believed, I am incredibly, incredibly sorry, because I'll cop that.
Mate, my preview, I'm pulling off my jumper and I'm like, we're back, baby. I believed it. I thought they had found, because I'd never seen effort like last week, but
false effort, bro, isn't it?
It was. It was.
You talk about intrinsic motivation, don't you? Like, you tell me how much more fucking intrinsic motivation could you have than a board push, Clarkson in, finals chance? How much? Like how much can we give these boys? How much can you? How much can you? I mean, I did this video a couple of weeks ago. I mean, last week, and Heath Book and me were chatting about it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about fucking the passion it takes to play Carlton, the love. Do you know what I mean? That we all have, we share together. 400 people watching the live, man. Watching that shit with your Uncle Pom.
It's rubbish, bro. It's fucking rubbish.
That's what we get in return. Honestly, that is one of... I haven't even watched the game on a deep level, but I'm telling you now, just looking at the bare numbers, we went straight back to that kick game style. The separation was almost banter. Almost banter at times. It was so easy. And...
midweek,
David Teague says we look for motivation in outside fucking places to G us up. To G us up. Like, one more. Like, is he taking the piss out of me? Is he like, what more motivation could you physically have from outside? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, David Teague. If you are listening, if you give an iota of shit, I'm telling you now, I work in development. My job is taking the people about to get sacked, and I'm their last chance to keep their job. I retrain them. You've got to put your hand up and say it's not your job. If you love the club, there is one iota in the club. You have lost them boys, because me and Riley said it at the start of the game. You could see in the eyes they weren't switched on. There was a body language thing. You could see it. And I don't mean that nastily to David Teague. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But they don't respect you, bro. They don't respect you. Whatever's been said to them, they don't respect you. If that's not your game plan, they don't respect you. And I'm sorry, but it's to quote the great Arsenal fan TV, time to go. It is. And that, I am so sorry to every one of the fans. I bear that on my heart. I bear that as me. That's I'll put my hand up.
I wish our club would say sorry to our supporters for some of their performances this year. That's just,
mate. Lockie O'Brien fullback for a quarter. Lockie fucking Bryan. Do you remember Mickey Gibbons full forward? We did it again. We did it again. Like, I was so up and about. Like, I sent Riley a fucking list of songs. We've got 22 chants we haven't used tonight.
You can't.
Because, I honestly, I'm going to put this out there. I am so sorry to everyone who, if I gave hope to, I know people were texting me and saying that I'm nervous. Now I'm G'd up. I am so sorry in a COVID hit year if I've given you false hope when hope is all we've got. I am so I can't apologize anymore.
Stop apologizing.
I'm a shit human being.
No.
I broke my rule.
We don't need any of that, mate. You're not a shit human being. It's you believe. There's nothing wrong with believing. I believed. I do believe. I believe in this group. But it was what it was, David mate.
T.
I really have a firm belief in this group. Anyway, mate.
You know what hurts me the most about this game? What really, really kicks me in the testicles about this game is they played last week in a way that was what we dreamed about as fans. What they did last week was what we dream about. You know, seeing intensity, head over the ball. It wasn't one player. It was 18 players giving a fucking shit. Giving a shit. Wearing this Guernsey as a representation of you and me and everyone else. And this week, it was like, you know when you turn up to work on Wednesday and you realise you're halfway through? And you're like, oh, fuck. It's Wednesday. Fuck this. That was how it was. Do you know what I mean? Like honestly, like, that is honestly one of the worst things. Like, that's worse than the North game. And, you know, on the North game, like, I wanted to divorce my wife and go back to England. Like, now I'm like, divorce Rangers. I'm that level. I mean, because Rangers lost to a team that I've never heard of last week. And now Carlton have lost to Gold Coast. Honestly, I am so sorry to everyone. Stick fat. I love you all. But honestly, that is one of the worst things I have ever seen with my two eyes.
Yeah. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate you. We'll be there tomorrow for the wrap up. Take it easy.
Hari Krishna, big shout out to everyone. I love you all. Honestly, watch Jumper Punch. Subscribe to Almost Blue Brothers. They're doing charity work. Sub to Terry and sub to your Uncle Pom.
Love it. Thanks, mate. Ugur with the 10 says, no comment. I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you at all. Jack de Gabriel.
Hey, Terry.
How are you, mate?
That was a bad game today. The effort wasn't there. The coach changed the tactics. I don't know why Walsh started in the back line. Harry played more forward, um, leading to the ball and not in the goal square. I don't know why. And then we were aiming for bets for Martin. No ideas. No ideas.
So it's how different do we look in 1 week?
Mate.
And we
Last
had
week,
8 days. There was like 8 days break.
yeah, I don't know. Last week there was the pressure, there was the heart. They gave their all, but this week nothing.
No.
In the middle, we got destroyed, and they only have Miller, who's good, and the other are average players. I I have no words to describe this game. Unbelievable.
It is. I just sat there in the couch when I actually really believed that we were going to win, even at 3/4 time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too optimistic and positive, but when I realized we were going to lose, I literally just slump in the couch and I'm like, "You motherfuckers did it again." I mean,
Man, today.
now what?
Yeah,
What do we do now?
I don't know. Today I woke up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Mate, I wish I stayed asleep, but I'll always support the team.
Of course.
We'll always be there behind the
Yep.
team, but they have to show some heart. They have to show some heart. So to
Yeah.
us.
Very true. So you're in Malta. For those of you watching at home, Jack is from Malta. Jack, what time is it?
It's 8:46 in the morning.
Wow, in the morning, early start. You got the whole day ahead of you. At least I can sleep now.
Oh. But we'll see. But
Yeah.
we need major changes for next year.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to change the coach, I think, and play some old players. We have to move them on.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Jack, you're a classy gentleman. It's good to have you on again, mate. Hopefully we can be happy next week.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
See ya.
mate. Paolo.
Oh, before I get into it, mate, geez, it's big commitment from the young fella in Malta to wake up at 5 a.m.
All the way. Imagine
Good on
waking
him.
up, giving the effort for that.
It's the first time I've seen him on the fan cams, and commend him. Like, shout out, man. Really well spoken and got his point across brilliantly. But I think I'm gonna have a bit of a funny start. I think it was ironic that our season was ended by one of these. If the banter couldn't be any more ironic, then it couldn't be more ironic than a big fat banana putting the dagger in our season.
Can you believe that?
You know what? I think it's at a point where it's desperately bad when people are not angry; they're just flat and disappointed and just broken, really. No care, no bond, no passion, no desire in this team. I don't see a brotherhood with all 22 blokes that take the field every week as well. And I think that's instilled from your leaders, and that's just not on the field from a football department perspective. That's from the top down, really, from executives, and that filters all the way through. So, and I think Pommy summed it up beautifully when he said, if there was nothing more, if there was anything more to play for this week, if you couldn't get up for that game this week with all that's happening surrounding the club off the field as well, and even on it too, it's just really, really disappointing and really flattening. So,
well, you look, the team that we watch every week as fans is really, it's the only window into us being able to see what the environment at the club is like. And when they constantly have 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks off, it just goes to show.
I think this just shows you the unprofessionalism within the four walls of a football club. I think the fact that they decide to rock up when they deem fit, whether that's a conscious thing or a subconscious thing, it doesn't really matter either way, because as an elite athlete, that should be instilled to you from the very moment that you walk out onto the field, the very moment you come off the field, and the moment you come into training. And I think, I mean, the irony of this round is that it was Carlton Respects round, and there was very little respect shown to the Guernsey, the Monogram, and to the members who pay up and front up every year. And I think the players have been lucky that there's been no crowds at the game, because I mean, I think people were saying Mars's spray was a big one. I'll tell you what, mate, I reckon they deserved every bit of it and more this year. And I mean, you question it too, and we were chatting during the game as well. I mean, where's the captain, Terry?
He disappeared in the second half.
Where is he in all of this? I mean, he signed the contract. You're supposed to be a game winner on that type of money, and he simply goes missing, and it's just simply not good enough. And that's what's going to set your example. That's what's going to set the example for the rest of the group. And if the bloke who's being paid whatever he's being paid on a 6-year contract is not living up to that standard, well, then what hope does everyone else have? And I think this game went to show that when two of those three players are not at their optimal level, I talk of Wiedering, Mackay, and Walsh. Walsh was a bit down today, and Mackay was well down on his best, and Wiedering was enormous down back. It just goes to show you the weak underbelly with this football club, and it's as simple as that, really. And I think the issue for us as well is that there is no, and I made mention of this on the live watch along at half time, is that there is actually no systematic breakdown of the opposition when we have the ball in hand, and you could see it today. And it was really disappointing that the flux of performance from last week to this week, I think, just shows how unprofessional and how little care a lot of these players have within our football club. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are just simply not good enough. And I think that's it for David Teague. Unfortunately, that'll be his paper stamped if they weren't already, and we move on to next year. It's a very, very deflating year, and I don't know what they're going to come up with this week. And all the semantics and stuff around Murph's 300 and all the off-field stuff. It doesn't really mean much anymore.
You don't get to enjoy it as much. You don't.
You don't. Because at the end of the day, the club's bigger than the individual. So that's that. I mean, there's nothing much more you can really say. Disappointing, flattening, and heartbreaking. Mum's just walked in as well.
Sorry.
Mum. Yeah, there you go. But no, I mean, yeah. As I said, the irony of our season being ended by a big fat banana from the pocket.
Can't wait to break this one down during the week, mate. Look forward to it.
No, it's not going to be ideal, but I think we're just expecting the worst for our coach and a few players come Monday morning, unfortunately. But that's the way it is, Terry.
Yep. Good on you, Paul. We'll speak to you soon, brother.
That's soon, mate. Enjoy.
Stuart McQuaid says, what the fuck is the deal with playing our leading goal kicker up the ground most of the game? Besides that, no accountability across the team and the staff. I actually didn't. I mean, I get it, but I didn't think. I didn't think he had a bad game, Harry. I thought he presented pretty well, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Why are we not putting him in scoring positions? But anyway, Riley.
I'm broken, mate. Like what do you say? I mean, this team, this football club, this institution continues to boggle and disappoint and hurt their fans. I think Paolo has summed it up where you're beyond the point of anger. It's just deflating, and if you don't, in some instances, you don't laugh and you cry. The inconsistency week to week, quarter to quarter, it's actually mind-boggling that a professional sporting institution continues to be so consistent at being this inconsistent with effort, which is a base level. It's a base level marker in everything you do in life. I'm still I'm in disbelief.
Yeah,
It's
like I get it.
unbelievable.
I'm not surprised because they dish this up and they tease us and then they do this all the time. But it's just kind of like, why can't we expect more from them? Why not? It just doesn't make sense to me because it's there. They're all there, all of them.
Mm.
They need to, all the players that we need to be a good side. They're all out there on the park.
Mm. They absolutely are. I mean, some would argue there's a couple missing today, sure, but that's no excuse. We had more than enough out there to win today. I think it's just. I said it during the live. Today's performance was a microcosm of the David Teague era. Lapses, tactically outclassed. That it ended up being 19 points. In the end, it felt like 7 goals. They controlled that game so much in the second half. It's not funny. I mean, we see it's just mind-boggling. I think there are a few people's papers that are stamped after today if they weren't. I think I will say this. If the club, when you see performances like this dished out so consistently, when this review is eventually completed, if they don't release the findings to a general level, obviously there's massive sensitivities. If they do not release the findings, as personally for me, and I think I wouldn't be alone, I'm going to be bitterly disappointed because that just shows again a lack of external accountability, saying, "Hey, this is what's wrong. This is what we're going to fix it. We're just going to hide behind it," and that just continues to be symptomatic of the problems we have.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I get it. There might be personal names that get thrown up and reputations and all of that, and you've got to protect that. Understood. But we've been told from, what was it, after West Coast? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on that. We've been told about this external review and the idea of not knowing what the problem is and then just believing in somebody's word that, we've identified it. Well, where's the faith? How can we have faith?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. We can't have faith in this football club right now. We don't have faith in the effort. We don't have faith what goes on field. We don't have faith even off field with aspects. We are in a world. We are in a lot of ways, despite the gaudy financial figures right now of the club and the membership. We are in a world of hurt, and I've seen some comments during the week that culturally the club is really strong. If the club is culturally really strong, like knock me over with a feather, my friend. We can't be. Because if we were, we wouldn't continue to accept what's been happening.
Correct. The standards, spot on. You've actually nailed it. What are we watching? Why can't we even just get a month patch of form? Why?
Because David Teague said last week, these lads don't have intrinsic motivation. They've only got external motivators. But again, that leads to the point, how is today not an external motivator? You've got a chance to effectively save your coach, save people in your football department, make finals. Terry, we are now, and I've said this before, we are now going to be 8 years without finals. We have never done that in our VFL, AFL history.
Wow.
Since 1897, Terry. Not even in the salary cap era, when we got the salary cap penalties. That was 7 years. It's been really poor. And you know what? The tone of the fans are changing. It's been good to see. I think I've said this consistently. We need to stick together, but my God, it hurts. It's flat. You can do anger, but I don't have faith in 95% of people in that joint right now to deliver what they think they're going to deliver.
Yeah, fair enough. I wonder when we are desperate to implement on-field standards into this club, because we've implemented the best off-field standards at the club, and I wonder when that same desperation applies to the on-field success. So
I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. We've been talking about it for so often. When are those standards? When are those KPIs going to be released? When are we going to be held to them? But we don't do that. it really is in a lot of ways disrespectful to the constituents of the football club, which is you, me, everyone watching this, the 80,000 members, the almost million supporters worldwide. It's just really, yeah, it's flattening. Yeah.
Bang on, mate. Bang on as always. I hope you enjoyed your first watch-along experience. I hope we can get you in for a win. But
oh, mate, it was apologies to the Gold Coast Suns. I might have taken the piss out of them a bit at the start, but they proved me a royal mug. They play with some real substance today. It's a credit to them. Thank you for everyone watching this morning. Thank you for the continued support, messages from people. It means a hell of a lot. And I think just stick together, guys, because the fans are what make the club, and there is some really, really good eggs here.
Yeah. Well said, mate. You have a good one.
Cheers, mate.
Michael Cheravolo says, I think the boys came out thinking they had an easy W ahead of them. Yeah. Seemed that way. Seemed like it was just going to happen. They thought it was just going to happen for them. Shannon.
Yeah. Sums up everything, doesn't it? I literally said it to you last week. I said it to you last week, and I said it all week. If we don't back it up, means nothing. And guess what? Proof's in the pudding. All game, I said it. I'm nervous. I don't think it's going to happen. And true to form, we fucked up again. We broke hearts again.
We're so easy in giving our trust out. I wonder. I won't even know what to do with myself when there's a time when we're actually winning like 4 in a row. I don't remember the last time we won 4 in a row. I really don't.
I think it was 2018.
No,
possibly, or might have been earlier than that.
We won 2 games there.
It was in Brendan Bolton era. It might have been 2016.
Maybe. It's just how is this still going on? This inconsistency. Like, when are they going to just grow up mentally? When is it gonna drop? Are we being impatient? Honestly, are we being impatient? Is it?
I don't know anymore.
You know, is it unreasonable to expect the penny to have dropped as a collective week to week by now? Is that too much to ask for?
Sometimes I feel like we're asking too much of them. I really do. I agree. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but last week was probably the best game I've seen them play. And Pommy's right. I think this is worse than North Melbourne. Like, at least we got thumped in that game. We were in this game up until about 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's a real heartbreaker.
The only person, well, there was a few players that I thought played all right, but I think Nick Newman actually played his role today and he actually stood up.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Walshy kind of lowered his colours, but that's because he was tagged really, really well. And Rao gave him a bath in that last quarter. But Cripps didn't stand up after halftime. Jack Martin went missing. Fisher was missing. It's just a long list of players that just went missing. And unfortunately, at this level, if you want to play finals, not good enough.
Yeah, 100%.
We say it every week that we can't be angry anymore, but it's just disappointing to continuously be having therapy with you every week. I want to be enjoying it and drinking the Kool-Aid with you, but we just can't do it because they're not letting us. Yeah,
there's some hard stuff in here. There's no Kool-Aid in here. I'll give you the hot
Don't
tip.
worry, I got a fridge full ready to go. I can't anymore. Like, is the season over yet? Like, I'm scared for Port Adelaide next week. I'm genuinely scared.
I'm scared of what happens when it's like actually mathematically over, and then it's kind of like, all right, boys, end of season trips. What are we doing?
Can't go anywhere.
We can't go anywhere. So there's that too.
Lockdown. But you'd think that would be motivation enough for your supporters at home, especially in Melbourne. Yeah. Now.
It's just crazy. We're still fucking talking about this shit every second week. It's just crazy for a professional sports club who has been given so many concessions to get their list right, their club right. It's crazy that we're still watching this week to week, up and down. Like, it's crazy.
I think we've had this issue for a very long time, and we keep appointing the wrong person to take us forward. And I hope the buck stops with Teague. I mean, I was all for him at the start, But now I'm actually seeing and understanding his game plan, and the corridor, again, exposed. I say it all the time, and everyone's sick of me saying it, but it's true. I think it's
The
actually
corridor,
true.
our defensive mechanism for corridor defense is looser than Riley Reid.
Literally. I have never seen so many short kicks, and they attacked the corridor. And all credit to Gold Coast. They absolutely tore us a new one in that second half, and we just didn't know how to respond. And we lower our heads, and then once they're lowered, forget it. And Harry shouldn't have gone back on. That's another gripe that I've got. We're playing players that shouldn't be playing because they're injured.
Yeah.
That's what young players are for. We have Kemp ready to go. We have Durden ready to go. Like, play them.
Yeah.
Now that we've pretty much got nothing else going for us this year, play them. Like, Tommy DeConning, I'm surprised is actually playing, given what he was like. That I don't understand. Harry
That's
goes
crazy.
down, hurts his shoulder. Why is he out there? Jack Martin's not fit. Why is he out there? Like, come on, guys. Like, our fitness team needs a good hard look at themselves, or see you later.
The elite fitness standards. It's well said.
Yep.
Good on you, Shannon.
No worries, Tez. I'll speak to you during the week.
I'll speak to you. Speaking of those elite standards, got a nice little clip here.
What I'm hoping to bring to the Blues is, really set high standards for the players and the staff, and really work hard on creating elite habits in the players.
Elite. Dimitrios, Tez, you're coming back on the pod. This team was never going to get your 5 in a row. All right, done. All right, done. You're on. Let's move on. Jimmy.
All right, first thing I want to say is to Pommy, he shouldn't apologise at all. If it wasn't for him, man, we would have been hanging ourselves during that match. He keeps it entertaining, and he keeps us going through those games. A lot of people would have just switched off. So Pommy should never have to apologise for the shit that they put out today. Second of all, what game plan were they going with? I mean, seriously, was he pulling the bloody Waterboy game plan off, telling it? Because why would you stick a player like bloody Curnow in the halfback flank? He's a key forward. He can bomb it in from outside 50, and you're sticking him in the halfback flank. Seriously, I mean, I just don't get where they're going at. Are they deliberately trying to lose?
You know, I had a pre-match conference today. Part of the Corey Durden sponsorship was one of the perks was you got to sit in on a pre-match conference, and today it was by Cam Bruce, our forwards coach, and great insight. He literally said, we've drilled it into the players this week about how the Suns are going to come off that bad loss like we did against North. They're going to come out. We need to close the space. We know they want to chip the ball around by foot. We need to close the space. We need to cut angles. He said that Ed Kerner would start half forward and just keep running all day. And what he was saying, it all made sense. The Suns are a man-on-man side and all of that. And then it just makes me wonder, like, who do you blame? Like, coaches had the game plan, made it very clear. Players go out there and not execute. Like, how do you apportion the blame,
I honestly think they've all got to take the bloody blame. But seriously, though, you can't have a game like you had against St Kilda last week and then say, well, we don't have the talent or we got injuries. Nah, fuck that shit. We had guys there last week. They played it. This week, they mostly didn't show up. Now, someone said in the chat that, it's because it's an elitist club and they've got this elitist attitude. And Palmer rightfully pointed out, this club was built off the back of immigrants. It was not an elitist club. Might have elitist management running it right now, but it's not an elitist club. The supporter base is not elitist. I mean, I get you've got a corporate. It's a club and it's got to make money and all the rest. But shit, supporters are going to start dropping off again. They keep this up. You got supporters who refuse to see what's going on and blindly support the club, no matter what goes on with so-called censorship going on out there. You got the core supporters ready to bloody well lynch them. The club's going to be nowhere if no one's around supporting them anymore. It's hard to keep on the next generation of supporters, let alone the current.
Yeah,
I just don't know what's going on. The talent's there. We've seen it. We know it. But, stupid decisions being made. You're putting on Harry Mackay after he's injured. Why would you risk it? The guy is a highly paid player signing on for 2 years, and you want to potentially put him out for another season with an aggravated injury. You got players who aren't performing who are getting paid a shit ton of money. And the ones who are performing are the guys that they refuse to play. The guys are the homegrown talent, the honeys. It's chaos. And sacking a coach won't fix the problem overnight. Getting rid of a couple of aging players isn't going to fix the thing overnight. Prior to the game, I spent time. I got an apple tree at the back, which has grown out of control and needs to be pruned back to get set shit again. Club's got to get pruned back. We've got to get back to basics of that club. The board, the players, shit's got to get done. I mean, realistically, yes, we were mathematically a chance to make finals. We all knew that wasn't going to happen. But why let a team like Gold Coast, teams like North Melbourne put the nail in that coffin? Let Port Adelaide do it. At least you can say, well, we got beaten by Port Adelaide.
Mate, I could not agree with you more. Let it happen next week.
Yeah. But all we're doing now is playing teams into form. And we're the joke of the club. We've got 16 premierships, a great history, but shit, we're doing as bad as Fitzroy used to be once upon a time. The only difference is we've got money at the club still. But that money might dry up.
Crazy. It's crazy we're still here talking about this. It's crazy. It's actually fucking insane, mate. It's crazy what they're doing.
Yeah. So like every other idiot supporter, we're going to sit there and we're going to watch them week in, week out. We're going to support them. But they've got to change it. They've got to change their...
We could never punish them by not watching. That is the dark, twisted reality. We're not going anywhere. We'll always support. We'll always sign up as members because we have hope, not necessarily in this regime or whatever, but we just have hope for better days ahead. And any glimmer of that hope coming to fruition, we try and hang on to it, like last week.
That's okay. We'll stick fat. And we'll get there at some point. The question is, when will it happen? Next year, 5 years from now, who knows? But one of the things the club's got to stop doing is overpaying for players. There's talk of, let's get Sierra in and all the rest. Well, every player that we've brought in and we paid big bucks for has turned out to be a dud so far. McGovern, Martin to a degree, Zach Williamson, whatever his name is, Williams. It's got to be done homegrown talent. We've got to do it from the base up like we've done. We don't need to go back to the draft again and again and again. It's already there. Just play the guys. Get rid of the aging players. I love Betts. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think he should be signing on for another year.
Yeah.
And maybe as a coach inside the club, but not as a player. We've got the guys who've got to play them. The Honeys, Durdens, the Carrolls. They're all ready to go.
Yeah.
Got to make it happen.
I feel you, mate. Listen, well said as always. Always appreciate hearing what you have to say.
Yeah, and thanks for that. And a big shout out to you guys and the Jumper Punch because you guys keep it entertaining for us during the week. And if it wasn't for the entertainment like that, a lot of us might have just switched off a while back just to put it out of misery. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, mate. I'm glad we've built something where we can all come to and feel the pain together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
good on you, brother.
Thanks, mate.
See you, mate. The chat room is full, guys. So just keep trying, keep waiting. It's absolutely full. So let's go, Sarah.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
Not great. How are you?
Do I have fuckwit written on my forehead? Like, I supported them for 18 years, seen no success, and thought they were going to win after last week. Surely it's tattooed somewhere and I just can't see it.
We've all got it right here.
Right, like it's big and bold, and players in the club aren't seeing it either. The 81,000 members, we all have it written on our foreheads, and no one else can see it but us.
It's crazy.
I just don't know if to laugh or to cry. Like, that was a joke of a game, and I don't know what to say. But I have it written on my forehead, and it's like I may as well just write it in bold and walk out in my Carlton gear, head to toe, and go for a run in the park. because my dead nan can play better than them. And I love her to bits, love her so much, so dearly. She saw them win grand finals, but what is this? I just don't get it.
Why do we keep coming back? It's crazy. It's our parents' fault. They sold us a dream of a great club that always won and was the greatest club in the world. They told us that there were champions that used to play. They told us that they used to win flags and that on-field success was the number one priority. That's what they told us.
I just don't know. Like, I'm not even looking at watching next week's game because I just know it's going to be like a thrashing, and I don't want to say it out loud because I know that if you put it out there, it's probably going to happen. But, I've had a really shit week, everything gone on personally, and then a whole Carlton respects. They get people to come in and talk about family violence and violence against women. What if that was their girlfriends or their mums or their sisters? They don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck who it is. They don't care if it's the members that have gone through that shit. They don't care. And they do that. And I sit there and watch that. What's the word respect if they're not going to respect us watching them? Like, I turned it off. I shouldn't have to respect them anymore. Like, I'm sure that the fans that sit there week in, week out when we're at games and don't leave when it's pouring, hailing, thunder, we get wet. In the sunshine, we get burnt. And they're losing by so much. We're still there because we want to prove that we respect them. And then they do that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if to, I'm just laughing. Like, it's not even hurt because it's just a joke now. Like, it's like, do I start following like badminton or volleyball? Like, the Olympics is more interesting. And I don't even like the Olympics. I haven't watched the Olympics at all.
It's crazy times, Sarah. It's crazy times. We've got to sit through more of it. Who knows what the next few weeks will bring, honestly. It's funny, we'll probably win next week.
Don't know. If we win, though, we'll lose the week after. That's the thing. That's Carlton.
Yeah. It's true.
I'll let you go.
Well, thanks for coming on and sharing your frustration. And I hope we're happy next week.
Yes, so do I.
See you, bud.
Thank you.
Nathan.
Hey, Terry. How you doing?
Not as good as last week, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, I knew it was going to be, I thought it was going to be ugly, but I did think we would win. I was the same as you at the start of the fourth when we leveled it up at, I think it was 51 apiece. I kind of thought, we'll kick a couple, we might win by 2, but obviously it's 2 goals, sorry. And obviously that didn't happen, but I just wanted to will them over the line. So at least we'd have a build up to the Port game and, we're still a mathematical chance and just something to get us through another lockdown. But, it's a familiar feeling, I guess. We were here 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure a lot of the same sentiments were shared against North, and they kind of made us forget about it pretty quickly last week. But again, I would have been really seething and angry if it was earlier in the year, but I think the back end of the year, we've never really shown any fight. The games haven't meant finals. They haven't, they've just been going through the motions kind of stuff. So I was hoping they'd be able to have a game next week where it would still mean something. I don't think we've played a game in the last 3 rounds, let alone, many more that actually meant something. But I guess we'll just have to watch them go through the motions next week and hopefully get a few games into those players that haven't been able to crack into the team this year.
Yeah, spot on. Are you tuning in next week for more pain?
Well, I think someone said if I didn't watch the game, I would just be sitting on my phone refreshing the scores. So, and I think it's one of those things where it's like a car crash television. I will never be able to turn it off. Supported the club for 24 years, so I'm going to watch it, but I don't know what to expect and what to look for, because the difference between our best and our worst, it's pretty scary, to be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy, isn't it?
A lot of the good teams, their best and their worst is a smaller gap, and more often than not, they're closer to their best. I don't think any team's ever at their best every single week, but they're closer to it. But us, it's 1 week, it's horrific, it's lethargic, and then the next week it's at St Kilda effort, and they show us they can do it. They got the skill, and that's a scary thought, especially for a team that we all want to see succeed in the finals. You know, as soon as it gets tough, I guess they kind of crumble and fall over. And I don't know what changes that, to be honest. I think that's within each player when they look themselves in the mirror. How badly do they want it? And I don't see much.
Fair call. I think you're right. Yeah, you're spot on. The difference between our best and our worst is quite crazy, given where this group is at. 2 more weeks, mate. What are you hoping to see out of the next 2 weeks?
Well, I tune into your previews and whatnot every week, and you say every game matters, and I share that sentiment. Every game matters. I would hope that they still come out next week and give us something to cheer about, and at least if I didn't expect us to win, I did think we'd win this week and probably have my heart ripped out next week against Port. Probably would have been easier pill to swallow, but I just want them to play a valiant game and at least show us that they care. Show us that they care. Because if they lose by 10 goals, yeah, I mean, what are you going to say to that?
Yeah. Well said, mate. As always, thanks so much.
Yeah, take care of yourself in lockdown as well, and all the other blue baggers out there. Just be positive and try to laugh your way through it. Maybe
100%.
tune in on Tuesday night to the boys on the Jumper Punch. I'm sure it'll be an absolute pisser this week.
It should be fire. Thanks, bro.
Have a good one, mate. Thanks for having me.
You too. Gino says my kids hate me for barracking for the Blues. It's a stitch up, mate. We were mugged off. Brody, sorry to hijack this, Tez, but a bit fuck right off to all those posting about the socks. Perspective wankers. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. We're all hurting. Where's my man, Jake B? Jakey B.
Hey. Can you hear me?
How you going, mate?
You good? I'm all backwards and I can't figure out where I am. It's all right. I'm glad we can finally talk, but I was hoping to talk tonight and party and be excited and have a beer and not be sad.
100%, man. Just so for the viewers at home, where are you calling from?
I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, United States. It's 2 a.m., 2:40, 2:21. I don't know what time it is.
We've tried to get you on, but the time difference where you are and where we are is crazy. So I'm glad that we got you on. I'm sorry that it's taken this long.
Oh, it's okay. I did wake up at 4:30 a.m. and watch the Geelong game this morning. I haven't taken a nap yet, but powering through. I don't know why. I should have went to bed, but
yeah, you should have. Well, you got sucked in like we all did. What are you seeing from the how long have you been supporting the team?
So this is only my second season because I just got into footy, and I know everyone's talking about they've been supporters for years, and for me, I'm like, what the team's putting out on the field, how are you trying to get supporters and members to stay? Because really, what reason do I have to stay and keep watching? Luckily, I guess for them, I have a jumper, and luckily for them, I'm a guy who gets really passionate about things and just dives all in. And once I'm committed, I feel like I can't leave. So I jump in with all that almost years of passion. But how am I supposed to convince friends to hey, you want to come watch this shit football team with me? There's no hope. The hope's already gone. So what's the goal to keep people supporting this club?
I mean, in Melbourne, in Australia, it's our families passing down these great stories of the great times which apparently happened. And I'm not saying that they didn't happen, but I've never seen them with my own eyes. We just hold hope that one day they'll just be good, not great, just good would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have the hope, and you posted about drinking the Kool-Aid earlier, and I was pour it up. I'm here for it. I have the hope, and I think even earlier today or maybe yesterday, I was remember the beginning of the season, Teague talked finals, and then it wasn't going well at the beginning, And then they apologized. We're like, I'm sorry we used the finals word. And then looking at the ladder and everything, I was like, he was right. It's going to happen. I had the hope. And now it's gone.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is. It's crazy. It's crazy that we keep doing it. But I don't know how we have international supporters and those who haven't grown up with the game and our club. I don't know how it's happened, but I'm really grateful to have international supporters who have found the sport and chosen us as the club. And I just hope that you stick along for the ride.
Oh, I can't like just jump on another team right now. Like that'd be awful.
You're too late.
Yeah. But I'll also tell like you guys in the channel and everyone who supports you guys. You guys are the reason. You guys have made it fun. Like the people I've met online, watching your videos every week, the club shit, but you guys are cool and you guys have like accepted me. So like that's what makes it. I can't ditch you guys. I'm here for you guys.
Well, if we didn't win a game, we won the people battle today. So appreciate you putting a smile on our face, mate.
Oh yeah, great talking.
Thanks, Brave. That was good. Young Ari.
Oh God. What more? I came on 2 weeks ago and I said it was always gonna happen. It was always gonna happen. I thought this morning when I woke up, I was like, okay, we're still a chance with finals. External review is everywhere. We've just been hit with a week lockdown, which is probably going to go for more. I'm thinking, and you say this, they surely can't have the mental bottle to lose. Surely, right? We've got to get out of jail free card against North. We lost, but we're still in it, still in the race somehow, and they produced that.
No. How many times can we say we're broken and we're just? It's honestly, it's really speechless this week. It really is. It's kind of like the quicker I get over it, the quicker we wake up tomorrow and get on with our lives. Like they don't care consistently enough. It's kind of like they need the fire week to week. They need it to be like doomsday every week so we can get a response out of them. Who's leading it? Which players in the playing group? Who's leading it? Am I allowed to look at the captain and say, Cripps, I need more from you? Like, is that allowed? Is that okay? Is that okay to expect more from Patrick Cripps? Is that unreasonable? It doesn't make sense to me. Who is responsible on the field? It's just crazy.
Waitering today was very good, I thought.
Yeah.
And people saying that he should be the next captain. I think it's a poison chalice, personally. I think we've seen what it's done to Cripps. He got given it, and then he's never been the same, really. I mean, I would have loved to see what kind of player Murphy could have been if he didn't have the burden of a captaincy, which we really shouldn't be saying. Like, really, the captaincy should be elevating someone. But it's
tough, mate. I look forward to seeing your what you have to say throughout the week. I think we'll get you for previews and next week and see what you think about it. But upon first glance, you had a really good article as well about why it's not Alistair Clarkson. I think that was a really good read. It was good to see the other side of the coin. So keep up the great work, mate. You're doing some really cool stuff.
Thanks, cheers. Just on that, I think I might need to eat my words after that one.
Oh no! Oh, no!
No. I'm just saying. I think I put some things in there which was a very pro David Teague, and I'm still adamant that David Teague should not be sacked yet.
That's fair.
I'm still on that side, and I'm never gonna leave the side of Alistair Clarkson that he should be brought in. I think we should stay very, very, very far away from him. I think we need to learn from the last 2 times we've brought in experienced premiership winning coaches. Yep. Didn't end well, to put it lightly. And
very spot on.
And just another one, I think it's 84% of the last 20 years worth of premiership coaches won the flag with the side that they first started coaching AFL football with.
Interesting.
So there's just a food for thought for that one.
I like it. We love food for thought here. We love challenging our minds.
And ironically, the last coach to win a flag in a side that imported him was Mick Malthouse in 2010. And there you go. It all comes full circle, doesn't it? It all comes full circle.
It's funny. Good on you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
There you go.
See you, mate. Rocco. Let's go, Rocco.
For fuck's sakes, man. Like, I just don't get it, man. Like, there's no leaders there, man. We've known that for ages. We've known it since the first time I come on a year ago. I think if you look at that first fan cam, I said, where are the leaders? And a year later, a year and a half, where are they? Where are they? Who's standing up? We're relying on a young kid to, like, stand up and a couple of really talented players to like lead the way. And if it wasn't for them, we would really be scutter. These leaders, I'm telling you, they were not worth a pinch of shit. The leaders on the ground aren't worth anything. The leaders in the box aren't worth anything. And the leaders up on the running the club aren't worth anything, because if they're accepting this absolute rubbish that they're putting out, right? And again, they're trying to hoodwink us with all this other crap that they send us, and that no one really gives a fuck. No one cares about all this stuff. They can jam it all up their ass, all of them. They can all just jam it, because that performance just, it just shows the kind of people they all are. And they are just the worst. They're the worst. How can you not bring your game out today? How can you, and this, I'm talking about coaches and players, how can they not bring their game out today? How can this coaching panel not be prepared for this absolute garbage of a team we played against? Seriously, Gold Coast are just garbage. Are we seriously thinking that? And they lost by a record amount last week. They lost a record amount last week, and we just let them walk all over us. I'm telling you, every other team laughs at us. Even the Gold Coast went in today, right, thinking they've got a massive chance to beat us. And that's a disgrace that they even went out there thinking that.
Teams know. Like someone like a Stewie Jew will know, boys, it's Carlton. If you just crack in hard enough and you hang in there long enough, they'll fold eventually.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened. We just faltered. And like last week, I still stand by last week. The reason we won was because we were accurate at the start. And it kind of like cracked up, like it put paper over a lot of those cracks, because we kicked straight and we put ourselves a bit of a lead. We built a bit of confidence. And again, they come back at us at the end, and we should have won by more. And everyone was like drinking the Kool-Aid, saying, "Oh, look what they've done." But look at today. We didn't score. Like we weren't hitting the scoreboard, and we just fall apart. It just, some of that performance by some of those players, Fisher and even like Martin Starks are. How are they breaking down after like 2 quarters? Why aren't they playing full games here? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't get it. Like, doesn't the fitness bloke look this Russell and think like, what's going? How can they not run out of game? These players.
I know.
Look, there's massive questions here that no one's like looking at. And I'm telling you, up above, forget about like all this stuff about like the president and that, but whoever the leaders are up at the top, they're a disgrace, regardless who's there. I don't care what name is there, what companies they run. How can they accept this stuff? Can they accept it? It's just like, man, I've got no energy left. Like, I'm really drained today. It drained me.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Flat. Completely flattened from that. Just like I've been hit by a train. It's just like, fuck.
Yep. That's how you feel. You just feel like they just let you, and I could feel it from the first bounce almost that they just weren't. How can you not be ready? How can you not be ready? Like there was this slight chance, and they didn't come to play, man. How can you not come to play? Like this, half of those, not half, but there's 6 or 7 players that aren't playing footy next year.
It's true.
I hope they know it because I'm telling you, it's hard to find a job out there. I know what qualifications they got. Half those players are like 30 years old. Like, what qualifications have you got? I'm a football player. Yeah, all right. Who'd you play for? Carlton. Well, fuck you. You're not coming to work here because I can see the way you play your game. That's how it's going to be, mate. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it, man. There's nothing to say anymore. Like, I got to prepare for the show now, and they've drained me of my energy. I don't know what my rant's going to be. I don't know. It's just one big minestra now. Anyway,
spot on.
I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I'm really feeling real shit today now.
Yeah, fair enough too, because like look, it's a hard burden for them to carry because obviously lockdowns and all of that. And then there's the sobering moment after the game that the game's over and we've shit the bed. And then there's that even more sobering moment like, oh, wait, that was supposed to take my mind off lockdown and make me happy. And then there's that like double, train wreck of an emotion where you're like, oh, fuck. Because it's pain upon frustration.
Upon frustrations and then just depression, and then you just, I don't know, man. Like, I've got no words anymore for this team, man. Seriously, I don't think at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with its leaders, mate. There's no leaders out there. There's no one leading this team to that pinnacle. There's no one. The great sides, the great armies. They all had someone who went out there and led the way, and I still can't see it. People like Krebs, yeah, where was he in that second half and that? Like, you can make as much excuses as you are, but I've never heard of a great leader make any excuse. I don't know if he is, but no one should be making excuses for these people. Seriously, it's a game of footy. You know what you have to do when you get out there. Why aren't you doing it? So they just haven't got that. This is why I'm thinking, like, with the coach, is it Alex? Who is it? But I'm telling you, it's not Teague. He's not Teague. Like, they say, they played for him last week. All right, so once every 12 weeks we'll play for him. Is that what they're doing? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Anyway, same story.
I get you.
Same story. All right, guys, enjoy. Join in Tuesday. I'm sure between me, Mars, and Paul, there's going to be some fire there going. I don't think we're going to hold back this week. We can't.
No, you can't. You guys do. You do a great job, and we look forward to it, mate.
Thanks, guys. See you, mate.
See you, mate. Jimmy.
Hello.
What's happening, young man?
Nothing. Just disappointed, really.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
12 years old, mate. Tell me what you have seen as a Carlton supporter at 12 years old.
Jack shit. Nothing.
It's tough, mate. It is. It's very tough. It is.
Really.
What did you think about today? What did you see today?
Nothing. Like, compared to last week, there was no heart in the players. The players didn't play for anyone. They played for themselves, and they couldn't even play for themselves. It's just really disheartening to see.
Disheartening is a good word, yeah. I mean, we were so excited. I was convinced, Dimmy. I was convinced that they found a little something last week and just sprinkle it a little bit this week. It's crazy.
It really is. It's crazy how to think, like, we're so close to the finals, and then the one game where it matters against a smaller team, we dropped it off. We just couldn't do what we needed to do, and it's just annoying.
I feel you. What do we do for the next 2 weeks, Dimmy? What is your solution? What have you got for us?
I think we just play the younger players, give them just play them, get experience into them, and just move on to next season.
Yeah, look ahead for the future and see how many games we can get into these young boys. So you want to see what young Brody Kemp next week?
Yeah, I'd love to see Kemp.
Yeah, I like it. Dimmy, how did you become a Carlton supporter?
Dad.
What did he tell you about the club?
Success. And then, yeah.
Listen, he wasn't lying. My mum told me the same thing. Hopefully one day we can enjoy it together, my man. Hopefully. Good on you. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
What a legend. J Barb, so bad today we even failed to get Murphy one step closer to 300. No, not necessarily. I'm pretty sure the game counts. Webby.
Hi, Terry.
Not happy, mate.
I've made some notes, so just bear with me, all right?
I'll bear with you, mate.
Okay. So, when is someone at this club going to stand up and say, we are not going to be the joke of the competition anymore? Kane Corn said on Monday night that we over-celebrated, and it looks like we did, mate. It looks like we did, because Gold Coast were absolutely rubbish last week. I watched that game. They were witches' hats against Melbourne. Okay? So, the opposition wanted to hit up every 15-metre target. At some stage, is it too much to ask for someone to yell out and say, let's push up on these bastards and make them kick it long? Okay? This team is mentally weak. We saw it last year. We shit the bed against Adelaide, and we had a chance to go to ninth today, and we shit the bed again against the worst team in the competition. Okay? What else have I got here? Some players' papers have been stamped today. I'm going to call him out. I don't care, mate. Zach Fisher, your papers are stamped. Do you actually do anything apart from ducking and diving and taking 30 seconds to make a decision? Right? And my last point is intensity. How can you bring that intensity that you bought last week, where you laid 79 tackles for the whole game, compared to today? It's just not good enough, Terry. We are 6 years into this, right? And I saw your video last night from the little girl on Channel 7 who has seen this girl win once in 27 games. We are losing another generation of supporters. When does winning become important instead of all these charities like today, mate? Like today. When is winning important to these people?
It's hard. It's a very hard one, because when we lose, we look straight to the causes. The causes are important, and I totally get your point, mate. But winning has to be at the forefront, and it almost makes us feel like winning is we're not as desperate to win as what we are to show how much we care for these social issues. And I get what you're saying. Does it make the social issues not important? No, it doesn't. They are important.
No.
Yeah. And I know you're not saying that. Yeah, no, I know you're not saying that, but I'm with you. Let's start showing some desperation, the same desperation to be a socially responsible club as what we are a winning club. Why can't we have both? You know?
Like us in Victoria are in lockdown, right? And I don't know what's worse, lockdown or watching these frauds go out onto that ground and play a game of AFL football.
Wearing that beautiful emblem on their chest.
They don't care, Terry. It doesn't mean enough to these blokes like it means to us who freaking ride every bump, mate. We ride every bump during a game. You know? Like we sign up and we watch every week. Like, when is the penny going to drop for some of these players? And question for you: have we overrated Paddy Cripps?
I don't know about that. I love him. We all love him.
So do I. As you know.
What he built his game on and his reputation was he did the basics right. The tackling, the handballing to space. That's what he built his game on. Then he became the best player in the league, and I can't help but feel like since then he's gone away from what made him the best player in the league. I actually thought he started really well today with the tackling. I thought he was right there. He was throwing blokes around, and I remember I was writing notes. I'm like, there he is. That's him. And then I don't know what happened. Something happened after halftime, and he just didn't get into the contest again. And you just left wondering why. And I asked the question, but if you can't ask more of your captain, just like we all want to lash into Mark Murphy when he was captain, at least he kicked goals. Yeah. And at least he won games for us. Like, what's going on with? Is he injured? If he is, why is he playing? Yeah. There's just so much that you just don't know.
Patrick Cripps built his game off contested possessions and clearances.
Yeah.
Where's that gone? What, like, if he's injured, he shouldn't be playing. I love Paddy Cripps. I'm not having a go at Paddy Cripps. But,
no, I get what you're saying.
But he's a shallow of the player he was 2 years ago. Like
the crazy thing is, he was good. He was actually fucking brilliant last week. He brought the heat, and then it just dipped after halftime today.
Cripper is like the rest of the team, inconsistent.
You're spot on. It starts from the top.
We have fans who freaking sit up all night or get up early to watch this football team play. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care, Terry. They just get paid, mate. And they go home and it's like, oh, another loss. This club has not played finals in 10 years. 2011. Forget 2013. Essendon cheated. We got in, right? 2011, we legitimately played finals on our own. 10 years for a club like the Carlton Football Club. This is just not good enough.
Yeah.
Will someone stand up at the club? Stand up. Somebody.
Yeah. Mate, Webby, I love you. I love your passion.
I'm sorry.
No, nothing to apologize. You have every
I'm
right
angry
to be
today, Tez. I'm angry today.
No, mate, I love it. Honestly, you haven't said anything wrong. You've expressed your passion, and it's fans like you that'll toss and turn in bed tonight wondering what's going on. And that's right. What I think needs to be remembered by the people who are representing us when they go out there. I think you're spot on.
All right, Tez. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, brother. Love you.
See you.
Jad.
Hey, mate.
I'm pulling off the jumper. We're back. Fuck, I'm an idiot.
What is wrong with us? We're just so
what is wrong
broken,
with us, mate? What is wrong with us? Why do we believe?
We're just broken, Tez.
We must be the most entertaining people to watch in the world.
I left the house, mate. I'm in the car, as you can probably tell. I left the house. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go get some sushi. Just fucking try and forget whatever the fuck that was. Anyway, mate. Look, there's a lot in there. There's a fucking lot in that. I just want to give credit, firstly, to Stuart Dew. As much bullshit as that is, I want to give him credit because that coaching performance was an absolute masterclass. That is what you call a coach who knows what his opposition is bad at, and then proceeds to exploit those weaknesses, because that chip mark, that obliterated us. And you wonder why we couldn't run the game out. It's because all game we were chasing 15-meter passes, and once they took a mark, someone has to go stand the mark, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and you exhaust the shit out of these guys. It's just a brilliant execution of a plan. That's why we couldn't run it out. Simple as that. And today was all about Teague and Dew for me. So Teague completely failed. Did nothing to stop that chip mark plan. Whereas Stuart Dew succeeded, and that is what you call someone who can coach, in my opinion, of course, and someone who cannot coach. That was right there. And it shows you it's not about talent either. Talent means shit all. Talent means nothing in this game. Well, it does, but the coaching is more important. And I've got a question for you, mate. What do you think the harder call is? Is keeping Teague harder than sacking him and getting a Clarkson or a Lyon? What's the harder call? Because I feel as a club, we have shirked making the hard calls for 20 years. We're too scared to make them. So I'm just wondering, which one's harder?
The coaching one is the most difficult one, because on the one hand, you don't want to make the same mistakes of the past. Getting rid of a coach too early. David Teague, whether he's performing well or not, is ultimately can only get better. Clarkson, there's the question of, is he at his best? Is his best behind him or ahead of him? This group doesn't need a 3-year coach. They need a 7, 8, 9-year coach. So there's so much to factor in. It's such a crucial decision. It's the whole coaching thing it's not about keeping or sacking him. It's the whole thing. It's so difficult. On the one hand, you've got Clarko, standards and winning, and he's done it, and he's experienced, and there's an old head, and he gets it. And then on the other hand, it's like, well, is he really going to be in this for another 10 years? Like, I don't know. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I have no fucking idea. And then it's like, is it Ross Lyon, who you're never as hungry as you are before you win your first one? I don't know. I just back him in until he's not there anymore. That's all I've known. All I've known is coaches that come and go in my life. That's all I've known. I don't know any better.
Yeah, well, fair enough, mate. Look, the thing is, I just want this decision. I want whoever makes it to be accountable, because a part of me feels like if they get Clarkson, they can turn around and say, "Oh, well, we got the best coach available. What more can we do? Sign this fucking new constitutional reform." You know what I mean? I want accountability from these people who are running the club. Fuck, man. Fuck. I forgot what I was going to say.
I feel you. I mean, now what? Now what? What happens next week? It's funny.
And
I'm sure you did. I'm sure we all did. Where has Josh Honey been? Why wasn't he put in against West Coast? Why did they wait? What were they waiting for?
Yeah. Look, man, I've had a little talking about that with my mates during the game. But a part of me thinks, like, is it too much of us to actually give Teague some credit in regards to this? Because, like, we can all agree that Bolton killed these kids, putting them in when they're not ready, right? And when Teague came in, he made a very clear point that it was going to be, you have to earn your games. So is it too much of us to think that the good form of Stocker, Dow, Honey, Owies, is it too much of us to think that maybe they develop them properly in the VFL? Maybe they let them marinate long enough to come in and show these signs for us? Maybe. Like, is that too much to think?
No. I think you're bang on. I think you're bang on. I think Stocker's been a good example of that. I think Kennedy's, in a way, been a good example of that. I think Always is definitely a good example of that. I think Honey's a big tick there. And it's funny, we were talking about development this time last year. Where's the development from the younger guys? I think we can now see a little bit more this year. And it's almost like, do we have to go back with expectations now? Because the reality is this is a young core, really young core. It's Walsh, Wiedering, and Mackay. I don't even know where I put Cripps in this core anymore. I don't even know what to say about. I don't even know where he's at anymore. I honestly have no idea, so I don't know. But it's kind of like a 21-year-old in Walsh. I think Wiedering's 22 or 23, and I think Harry's the same. mate, it's just more questions than answers. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue.
Look, I'm comfortable with what they're doing in terms of development now. I'm finally comfortable with that, but it comes back to the coach, right? So the next coach. I'm not really looking at their history anymore. Like, I'm not looking at Clarkson and thinking premierships. I'm not looking at Ross and thinking that. But what I'm looking at is the personality. So this is clearly a cultural issue. There's a fundamental problem with the culture at the club. Now, the new coach, he's got to be someone who comes in and dares to change that, because changing something like that takes a lot of balls. Imagine like I get a job at Google and I walk in there, I'm like, oh, we're changing this. It's a tough thing to do. So that's why the personality in the next coach is so important. It's so important. And if it's not a new coach, who are you going to pair Teague with? Who are you going to pair him with? There's just so many questions, and it's a very delicate process. And I think if you are going to get a new coach in, say Clarkson or Lyon, I think us as a supporter base, we have to be ready to say goodbye to players that we love. Because I do not see Clarkson or Lyon tolerating players like Plowman. I don't see them tolerating some of the stupid things that Jones does. I don't see them gifting Betts games. I don't see them taking care of anyone in the manner that Teague is taking care of him. I think you have to be prepared to say goodbye to a lot of players and maybe just go into a little bit of a refresh and go again, because that's the only way I see it changing, mate. That's the only way.
Yeah.
What we have is not working.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's kind of like the list is a Ferrari and it's being driven by, I don't know, Penguins.
But is it a Ferrari? I'm telling you, this year's challenged me, man. I've questioned everything I thought I knew about our build. Because a new coach, Ross Lyon, could come in and say, we're saying goodbye to this guy. What are we going to be like? No? Are we going to say no? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be all on board with the next person in charge.
Yeah.
There can be no time wasted. You have to be all in. It can't be like this Bolton, Teague, Sauce, the little battle that we've had the last 6 years.
So true, mate. Bang on. There needs to be a unity all the way through from supporters as well. Everyone. It's so true, mate. It's actually spot on.
Yeah, we'll probably just have to change our expectations, man. Because
expectations or do we drop standards or do we keep the standards?
No,
that's the challenge.
That's an issue for us. Like today, a sign of an unprofessional team is what we did today. We let Gold Coast, an absolute shit show, drag us down to their level, just like we let North do. Standards remain the same. What does Paulie say? Times may change, but standards must remain.
Spot on.
But are the standards we have right now, are they up to standard? I heard Wiedering a month ago say, "Oh, I will never question the effort of AFL players." Mate, what is that? Oh, mate. In terms of media performers, I think everyone who's spoken this year has just put their foot in it further. Because I can't. You're just saying the most ridiculous things. Just saying the most ridiculous shit. And then Teague, what did he say? They're not motivated, did he? I must have missed that.
I missed it as well.
Oh, my God, mate. Yeah. It's a big decision. We have to be ready for change and just alter the expectations, mate. And, look, I don't want to single players out, but you know how I feel about the senior core. If they go on like how they're talking about certain players going on, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
I want the club to finally embrace a hard decision. Not the easy call, not the call that the masses want. Make the hard call. We have never done it. We've never made the hard decision.
Fair. Love it when you come on, mate. I really do. I really appreciate you coming on.
No, I love talking to you, man. I just needed to wallow in the misery with you for a bit and everyone else.
What's your sushi flavor?
Mate, I had get this, yeah. I had seared nigiri.
Oof.
Oh wait, it was not bad. And then and a few other flavors. Oh, but check this pimple out, yeah? See that?
Yeah.
I call it the Teague.
Okay,
Because
why?
that's what they've done to me, mate. That's what they freaking done to me. I swear I didn't have that before the game today. I didn't have that. I fucking broke out in stress and fucking anger.
We are all
Oh.
aging at 3 times the speed of reality.
Fucking hell. Oh, well, fuck me. Oh, at least Murphy's got closer to 300. Fuck, at least Betts played.
One more. Well, that's right. Can't wait to buy my Murphy 300 t-shirt.
I'll buy one with you. No, he'll deserve to be celebrated when it happens, mate.
Yeah.
But
Well,
clean slate after that, please.
100%. Good on you, brother.
All right. See you later.
See you. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Terry.
How's it going?
How you going? I know you're gutted. Commiserations.
Thank
Just
you.
want to state from the borderline, not talking about my footy team, but want to tell you, give some feedback. Honey did really well tonight. I don't know why he wasn't playing for a few weeks already. It's good to see him play, get his hand, get some, experience as well. Just want to say, I know everyone's peed off with Teagues, but it's not always Teagues' fault.
No.
As I said, Teagues didn't cost you the game. It's just Gold Coast wanted it more. And I'm telling you, they just wanted it more tonight than what you guys wanted it. I've been saying for a while about Cripps. He just doesn't show that leadership that, when something doesn't go right, he doesn't go up to the younger players or to the players going, this is what we have to do. Let's try something. Let's do something different.
I'm not sure he knows what to
For
do.
me, I know you're going to talk. It's true, but what's interesting is there's our little one.
Hello.
Today she's wearing Carlton. Tomorrow she'll wear the other team. For me, it's interesting. We're having my other half who, yes, today he doesn't have. I know everyone will say something. Yes, he's Collingwood. But today he wasn't Collingwood. He was open. And it's interesting having someone else who loves football sitting with you and will give you an honest opinion. And I know I'm going to get flack, but my thing is, yes, we can get rid of Teagues, but what's that going to do? Every time we get rid of a coach, a new coach comes in, changes something, the line, how the players are playing, and then we complain, oh, it's a coach, it's a coach, it's a coach. How many times do we have to change a coach? And the thing is, other people have said it. Look at Hardwick. How many years did it take him? Clarko said the first year he coached, they wanted to get rid of him, but they didn't. So why are we? I know the coach is part of it. What he does isn't great, but it's the players. The players
You
just
stand up and be accountable
they just
for
don't
how
want
they
to.
play.
It's like this week they went, well, I might play, I might not. And the thing is, it's frustrating to hear. I get everyone's frustrated. I get everyone's annoyed. Yes, it was shit. But the thing is, blaming the coach all the time. What about the players? What about talking about the players who have done well and saying, you know what, they've done amazing. The young ones, they've done great. Why don't we give them credit?
It's
That's
an
me.
interesting
I
balance.
don't know.
Interesting balance. As in
It is.
how
And
you
the thing,
apportion
yeah.
how you apportion coach players, and who you put the responsibility on, It's an interesting one.
It's true. And what griped me today was, yes, it was respect week. Yes, they should have had respect. But the thing is, what they're doing is bringing into light domestic violence against women, against children, could be men. The thing is, they're bringing that to light. That's an amazing thing. Why say, oh, it's shit because the players don't have respect for us, so
Why should we have respect
why
for
should
them?
we have respect for them? Respect Week is not about that. It's about bringing to light domestic violence that happens in Australia, in the world, everywhere. That is a horrible thing. And I don't know, that, and to me, I might be different. That have really annoyed me to say, oh, a lot of people have done it. I'm not going to respect the players like that. I'm sorry, but yes, they were shit. But think about what we're doing is bringing to light
Awareness.
an awareness of something that's horrible that's happening.
And not comparing the players, like not comparing the players having no respect for this respect round. It's two different things. Like, it should never be compared. They're trying to, bring awareness through charity, and then everyone is wearing their heart on their sleeve, and I expect that. It hurts. It hurts to lose to the games like that. I'm not going to say my club's any better, but we're in the same boat, kind of. But it's just people need to step back 2 minutes and go, hey, let's not compare a charity or this respect and going, well, those players don't have respect. Look, I think a lot of players. Look, as I said, I'm not going to nitpick and say this person, but as I said, there are players that are holding on in the side that I don't even know how they get a game, and it also happens at my club. Well, I can name a player. I don't know how he gets a game, but each week he gets a game, and we all talk that he's got to be gone at the end of the season. But knowing our luck, he'll still be there.
Yeah. Very well said, guys. Appreciate you coming on and sharing. I really do.
Thank you for having us. It's our first time finally getting on.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Look, little Carlton supporter wasn't happy today.
Well, I don't want to see her in it. I don't want to see a Collingwood Guernsey tomorrow. I don't want to see none of that rubbish.
Yes, she's going to be in her Collingwood Guernsey tomorrow.
She will be,
She's
because we are
girl
fair.
Tomorrow.
We are fair.
Make a choice. Pick one or the other. Don't be like Carlton. Make a choice and stick with it.
Do you know what? Do you know what? She will probably be like her father, where, do you know what? She's very stubborn, where she will be both. And the thing is, she's shaking her head there.
Maybe Collingwood?
And the thing is, I love that she can choose which game she wants to go to. And I want it to be that she can enjoy football. Maybe she'll play football when she's older, don't know. But I want her to have the option where she can choose Carlton or she can choose Collingwood. And I know a lot of people
definitely not Essendon.
No. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's not fair, but I want her to choose. And if she wants to be both, that's great, because it's a love of the game. It's football. And the thing is, it's annoying that afterwards, come on, people. Yes, it's a game. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, we bleed, but think about the players as well and their families, and don't put them down, because they have families as well. And a lot of them have kids. And those poor kids are probably getting shit from other kids saying, look at your dad. That's not great. Really.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much.
End it. We better go. But
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks for having us. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Costa.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good. How are you? Let's talk about the football.
Yeah, let's talk about the footy. How piss poor was that, mate?
Am I allowed to be disappointed at that?
Of course we are, mate.
Is it okay for me to say that was fucking shit? Is that okay? Is anyone going to be?
And it's all right also to say.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's all right to say. It's also all right to say Cripps was fucking shit today as well.
Is it okay? I don't know. Am I offending anyone by saying that I watched my team give a non good enough effort? Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, mate.
And they make me feel bad because we've got Carlton respects. Fuck off. It's bullshit. That was crap.
I agree completely with you, mate.
I've got my heartstrings pulled on. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Nah, and the thing is, it's not an anomaly, right? They do this to us consistently, and whether you blame the coach or the players doesn't really matter, right? We blame the club as a whole. I don't understand how people can say we should differentiate who we blame. Who gives a fuck who we blame? We blame Carlton Football Club. All of them are to blame here right now. And to say not to criticize them. Why not? What? How can we not criticize them when they dish up that performance? That was the worst. I think, honestly, even though we lost by less, we were in the game. To me, that was a worse performance than the North Melbourne game, really. What was on the line, I don't know if you're looking at this, but North are beating Richmond right now. We could have literally, yes, they are. We had the golden opportunity to make it somewhere for the first time in 20 years and we dished that up. It's like we're just downhill skiers. That's the best way to put it. When things are going our way, when the game's going our way, we can pile them on, kick straight, kick a few goals or whatever. But as soon as we have something to play for, and as soon as there's not something to fire us up, we just go missing. We have the heart of minions. Like we've got nothing there. It's pathetic. Really, really bad.
Crazy. It is ridiculous that people are being criticised for wanting more from the club, that they give their finances, emotions, and most importantly, the most valuable thing you can give anything is your time.
Time, yeah.
And it's not okay to expect more from a group that's good enough to perform better than what they do. It's crazy. It is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If anyone can sit here right now and tell me that Gold Coast have a better list than Carlton, you're lying. It's just not true. How can we have 3 All-Australians in our team, Terry, and we do that? Like, I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, like, some of the players today, their efforts were deplorable. Cripps in that third quarter. Last week, we were praising him for how well he played, how he stood up when we needed him to, played with composure. He had 3 touches in the third quarter or something like that. Like, are you kidding me? Who do we turn to when there's something?
Correct.
It's like who do we turn to? Like when shit hits the fan and they start piling on goals, where are the players looking? Like who are they turning to help them out, to lay some tackles, to slow the game down? Like, and Teague today, what the fuck was that? How many times did Gold Coast play through the corridor again? Like again? How many times do you see in the forward 50 our defenders rushing back to try and spoil a ball that's coming over the top? It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's happened for 2 seasons now. I don't understand. You had that 12-year-old kid on before, and he knew more about the game. Like, he was saying this was disheartening. How has a 12-year-old got a vocabulary like that? It's because of Carlton, I'll tell you. Like, we've got nothing there. Like, the American bloke who came on as well, he's saying, like, how are we meant to get people to stay motivated to support this club? And I agree completely. Like, how are we going to... I was a Carlton supporter as a kid, and they sold me on this dream of hope. One day when I have kids, what am I going to sell them? Like, wooden spoons? We are becoming the joke. We are the joke. It's time to accept that, and to say that we can't criticize them or we can't expect more is complete bullshit. It's just not right.
It's rubbish. It's rubbish. We are paying members. We are the key stakeholders of the club.
Yeah,
that contributes so much. And so many people come on here and like I said before with Webby, it's like they'll be in bed tonight, not sleeping, wondering what the fuck's going on with the club. And everyone else is asleep, all good, telling us it's going to turn, it's going to turn, it's going to turn.
Yeah, I have a lot of belief in this group. How many times have we heard the same shit for the last 5 years? This rebuild's gone nowhere. Like, where's it gone? By this year, we should have made finals. If you're telling me that teams that are in there right now have a better list on paper than us, it's not true. Like Essendon, we're on the same amount of points as Essendon. Last year, at the end of the year, they were saying Essendon's in a crisis. They've got poor culture, not a good coach. They've lost Danaher. Look at Essendon's list. Who have they got? They've got they haven't got players better than Walsh, Mackay, and Wiedering. No way. But they're on the same amount of points as us. They could be above us after this round. Freo, same thing. Like, who have they got? They've got 5, and that's about it. It just blows my mind. Like, and that's all Teague and culture. That's all it is to me. That literally, if you're saying that we have this amazing list, like you said, a Ferrari driven by morons, that's what we are. Like, if you're telling me that we have all these gun players and they simply can't perform, it's game plan, it's culture, it's strategy, it's everything's just going wrong. And effort as well. There was no effort there today from the boys at all. Like, nothing. And I don't understand how that's a negotiable for them. Like, how they can decide when to try hard. Like, that's what you're paid for. You don't have to kick 6 goals in a game. That's not what we're asking for. All we ask is that you put some fucking heart into the game and play your heart out, and you're not. Like, you're not tackling, you're not running back, you're not playing on your man. What are you doing? You're pretty much just a cone at this point.
Yeah.
Like, there's... What did they bring today? That's what I want to ask. Because they didn't bring heart, they didn't bring effort, and it was a game that we should have won, could have won to make finals. So if you're not going to turn up for a game like this, which game are you going to turn up for?
Yeah. I thought when I was sort of writing down things during the game, at halftime I had written here, we've withstood their best and we're just holding on. If we just keep going, they'll break. I'm watching the wrong game. I'm completely watching. Because what happened was they were holding on and we broke.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that was your mentality is what the players had, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
just going to win this game. Like their Gold Coast, they lost by 100 points last week. We're just going to win. We'll just hold them off for long enough. But then they came out in that third quarter and the fourth quarter, and they came to play, and we didn't. It's like, but what do Gold Coast have to play for? Like, well, they're not making finals this year, but they wanted it more than us. How does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, how? You can't tell me that they've got better skills than us, better players than us. That's not true.
Yeah.
So they literally won the game off of will alone when they didn't have any. They had no source of motivation whatsoever. We did, and we lost. So that's just screams a culture that just doesn't want to win badly enough.
Yeah.
Every time we're faced with a challenge, we lose it. Every single time. We came up against North, an easy game that we should win to make the 8. We don't. We win against St Kilda when all the pressure's off. Pressure's back on this week. Fuck it up again. And then next week, like you said, we'll probably win. Like, who knows? We could. When it means nothing, it seems like that's when we play our best footy. And
it's like we have to be mad before they win. We have to be
there has
like
to be a response, right?
stressed and like angry, and we have to be fired up, and we have to be like ready to give up on them before they win. It's crazy.
Yeah. Not even that. I think it's when we do give up on them, that's when they win.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
That's when they have nothing to play for, that's when they decide to play. And it's just like, that's the mentality of losers. That is the mentality of people who don't want to step up again when the pressure's on to win a game. And then not even that, like I said before, who do they turn to when we need that? I mean, Wiedering played amazing today, but it's got to be more than that. We're looking towards kids like Walsh and Stocker. Stocker showed so much up down back there. Like, sure, he didn't have a good game, but he was willing himself into every contest. I didn't see that from the likes of Plowman. I'm not going to go into specific players because I don't like doing that, but yeah, it's just piss poor effort again. And it's not an anomaly. We've seen it consistently throughout the last 2 years, especially. And I just don't understand what's going to change. Like, what happens for next year for us to not do this again?
Who knows, mate? They've got to make this review will happen. We're probably not going to see the public findings of there's going to be no public findings of the review. So everyone just buckle up for that, because it's not going to be made public. So just,
I think you said it before, like, what are they going to tell us? Well, what could the review possibly uncover that we don't know as fans already?
100%.
Like,
100%.
Like, what are they going to say? Oh, we probably made the wrong decision with Teague. If Teague doesn't win those games against Brisbane and that run at the end of 2019, is he our coach today? Like, what's his resume other than those 6 wins or whatever he got during that time? So yeah, okay, you made that wrong decision. We've got a culture problem. A few of our players aren't playing well enough. We're a bit of a Hollywood club. We know this as supporters. We see this every week when you play. So what are you exactly you uncovering through this review? I feel like it's just another excuse. What's going to actually change for next year so we can make the finals? Because our players are developing. Like, a few weeks ago against North, I was critical, saying like our players aren't developing well enough. But we've seen improvement from players since then as well. But we're still losing. This club, more questions than answers all the time, every round.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. Very, 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 very well spotted. And thanks for sharing.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we could talk some footy this time.
Yeah, appreciate it, mate.
No worries, mate.
See you, mate. Jacob, will never get the Plowman hate. Never have, never will. 11 touches today and hit all of his targets. 11 touches is 3 more than Paddy Dow had. That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. All right, let's power through because I'm getting a little bit tired. Chris Beach, another disappointing day, mate.
Can I ask a question? Was last week an effing dream? Like, were we all asleep?
I think we said it. I think we said it. I had a dream that we'd laid 80 tackles and we had 52 in the first half, and it was a dream. It was just a dream. It was an anomaly.
Yeah, it must have been because, I'm sitting there last round, I'd seen a win, celebrating how good's this, blah, blah, blah. I sit through today and I see that junk.
How much more do we have to watch? Honestly, how much more of it?
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, to quote Taylor Twellman, a former American soccer player or football player, depending on your language, who's retired, the quote I want to say is this: the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing, knowing the result. That is exactly what's happened the last few times we've lost, not taking the wins into account. That's exactly what's happened today against North Melbourne, against Richmond, against Brisbane, against Sydney, against West Coast. I could rattle you off a whole list of teams. The same things happened. The same things happened.
I don't know, mate. What do we do next week? What happens when they win next week?
Well, I tell you what, mate. I hate to be with the realist attitude, but I'm not sure how we can win next week. It's Port Adelaide. It's in Adelaide.
Yeah.
It's a ground that we haven't won at since before we were even in the AFL. We haven't won there since it was VFL versus Sandford versus Waffle.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, we haven't won there since then. All right, we haven't won there since they did the Championship Australian tournament, and that was before you and I were even alive.
Yeah.
The people that are only alive for that are people like my dad and the people his age.
Yeah. What do you want to see, mate, in the next 2 weeks? What are you looking forward to? What now?
3 words, Terry, and I'm going to keep this simple. Play the kids. Play the kids next week, because as far as I'm concerned, Murphy's probably going to get his 300th in Melbourne. Eddie's probably going to get another year, one way or another. And H is probably going to get the Coleman sealed up maybe next week. So we'll see what happens.
Well said, mate. As always. I love it. Good on you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, mate. Mark. No. Sort it out. I'll get you back on. Adam.
How's it going, Terry?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm a bit flat. I got to be honest. I'm just kind of like, is this, I expected this, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw this coming. I saw it coming, and it's either we play down to competition or we just feel the pressure and we bottle it. And it's either one of those two, and it's simple as that,
We can see how good their effort can be, and we can see how poor it can be in the matter of 8 days. It's fascinating.
Man, I'm scared for next week. Guess Port.
That's when they win. When you tip Port, that's when they win.
Hey, that's, when does it change? When does it change?
I'm telling you, I have been asking my whole life, literally my whole life. I've been asking, when is it going to turn?
Right.
So, welcome to the roller coaster, mate. Welcome to the roller coaster with seemingly no end. Who knows when it ends and where it ends?
I'm more than happy to be on it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. What time is it? What time is it there?
It is 1:21 in the morning.
I don't know how you do it.
Hey, sleep is overrated.
Fair enough. What do you want to see for the next 2 weeks?
I want to see the kids if they're ready to go. I want to see them, get some minutes, get their debuts, and just look competent against Port. Really, honestly, like it shouldn't have came to this. What year is it? Year 7 of a 5-year rebuild, and we can't even get close to finals. I'm just saying.
It's crazy.
The board has to come out and say, "Hey, we fucked this up. Things have to change, and we got to go in a different direction because this isn't good anymore. This isn't good enough."
Yeah,
it's simple as.
Well said, mate. Well said as always. Thanks. Thanks very much for staying up and tuning in with us here.
Of course, I love the channel. I love Carlton, and you guys were just reeled me in.
We sucked you in just like we were. We were all a bunch of suckers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See you, bro.
Yeah. See ya.
Mark, let's try you again. Hey, mate.
Are you in?
Yes.
Hello.
Firstly, just a shout out to my good old friend Mark Maddy, been through schoolmates through obviously a lot of years. Just wanted to quickly put that out there.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, it's just like everybody else's reaction, really. We've failed again. Third time this year, lost to a bottom four side, obviously with Collingwood, North Melbourne, because the Gold Coast were 15th going into this week. And mind you, Richmond were losing to North Melbourne, but now they've gained a bit of control, just getting the updates there. So, yeah, definitely kiss goodbye this season, which is just very, very disappointing. I mean, I just want to ask you this question before I quickly talk about the game. What was your real reason of why you supported Carlton? And to everyone at home that's watching.
I mean, funny enough, we talk about Carlton respects round. I was a young kid seeing a lot of domestic violence in my life, and Carlton was my escape from the shit that was going on at home. So that was really the first time that I fell in love with the club, the excitement, the energy of Princess Park. It was like my sanctuary away from the negativity at home. That's really how it started. So it is very deep. But anyway.
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. It was because of the history. It was because of the success that they demanded. That second was never good enough. I could see this ingrained very quickly. I've got a name, actually. Just right there. Got the old plaster of my name, all of ingrained Carlton. There's a footy right here. All the listed of the premierships. Obviously, we've had a drought from 23 years, from 15 to 38, and then a drought from 47 to 68. And as you can see, which everyone just did, that it's obviously our longest drought that we're in right now. I know it's stating the obvious, but
bring me back to the game. Bring me back to the game.
What more can I say about the game, really? I mean, everyone's pretty much all summed it up already. It's just another soulless, weak, insipid performance. Forget about the margin. Yeah, we're not getting blown out, but you've got to be at the stages, Terry, where you need to have that killer instinct mentality of wanting blood on teams. And I keep saying this every time. They just don't care. I mean, Webby's probably taken that mantle tonight, which if you had to give a fans 1, 2, and 3, I'd probably say he gets the 3 tonight with Chad 2, and I'll maybe even give a sneaky one to Parlo. Nothing against Pom, but I mean, this is where everyone as fans can get involved and have their opinions, have their say, and obviously show their passion of why we obviously love this club. But at the moment, it's very hard to support it with, more of the generational kids coming through that are they've seen nothing. And it's going to be hard for us when we become parents one day of how we're going to install this into our kids as to why they should be following Carlton if we don't get our act together very quickly and soon. I also just want to say this shout out for Vince Lonchesano, which I'm probably sure he's going to probably be the last one on, because obviously he speaks the truth and the reality of where this club is at. Because I fear, Terry, in this heart, like you and everybody else, we do not want this CFC to become the CCP. Because
don't even go there. Hey, don't even try and say those words on the live right now. I'm not even going to let you say it. That's rubbish. Don't even go there.
I just hope not.
No, great. Don't even go there. Honestly, don't even say those fucking words, please. That's rubbish. Okay, this is about the football. Okay.
2 more weeks. Durden, Ramsey, they have to play.
Yep.
They have to play. Give them minutes. Everyone's kept saying it. So I'll just leave it at that, Terry. I'll leave it at that, because if they don't, well, what's next?
Got to see the young boys. Got to look to the future. I'm with you, mate. Very well said.
Sorry if I went a bit too far on that one, but at the same time, mate, the simple matter is get your fucking act together, CFC.
I'm with you. I always love you, mate. Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, got 3 more. Michael McDonald.
Hey. Yeah, hell of a first time to get in.
Well, it's good to have you. Not so good to have you after a loss, but good to have you nonetheless, mate.
Look, as I said, I think we've chatted a few times on Instagram, and I think I've said things like, because everyone's talking about, we changed the coach, we changed this, we changed that. It's like, if we decide that we need to do a reboot and turnover, do everything. Look at everything. So maybe the review might be the best thing to happen. With the game today, I didn't get to watch it. I was at work, but I had the radio. So, there's nothing worse than a Carlton loss than having to listen to BT call it. It did feel flat from the start. I'm not sure. You can probably help me out a little bit with this. And I'm a bit nervous. It just felt like the energy just wasn't there again. Just listening to the game. And it just feels like it's mental now. It's not a talent issue. I'm not entirely convinced it's a coaching issue, because if the players cannot every week just say, hey, I'm going to throw everything in, maybe the players need to be looked at. Maybe we need to go, well, obviously Murphy's gone. His body's shot. He's going to get to 300 and he's gone at the end of the year. And you can look at guys like Casbolt's gone. And are we playing guys who are injured? I don't think Jack Martin's fully healthy. Harry's not fully healthy. Why are we playing him? So, and, my concern has been this year that we always seem to have like a 15 or 16 person deep injury list. That's not conducive to success. So are we playing players now because we have no choice? Is that something that we need to look at going forward as well? Maybe the medical team needs to be looked at.
I think you're spot on with. I mean, I think we're all looking for that as well. We all see the talent. We just don't see. We don't see the right application for long enough in games. Not just in games, but like week to week.
Yeah, it just feels mental because the talent's there. I mean, Paddy Cripps, Sam Walsh, Wiedering, fantastic. Harry Mackay, I'm so happy Charlie's getting through. I mean, he was dropped. Apparently, he was dropping a couple marks here and there, but man, next year he'll nail it. And the fact he's getting through games and he's still contributing and getting his hands on the ball now, big tick. Josh Honey, I'm actually not unconvinced the development is the problem, because there's clearly several players they waited. Stocker was made to wait an extra year to really start playing games. Love his work. Josh Honey, even Owies. I hope Brody Kemp gets a run. I hope Jack Carroll, if they're ready. So it's there. On paper, it's there, but something has just not. I'm trying to find the word. I think it's just There's that's it. Yeah. So it's like, do I think Teague is done? I think the club's going to get rid of him no matter what. Unfortunately, and actually, to be honest, it's not the first time in the last 10 years that a loss to the Gold Coast has ended a coach. It was Brett Ratton.
Wow. Deja vu.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's my first thought. Look, if he's going to go, it's the second coach we've done in 24 months? Bolton was like 24 months ago. So if we're going to sack the head coach, man, I think we just need to reboot the coaching staff completely.
Yeah.
Not fire everyone. Then, I think Luke Power seems to be doing all right. I think Dal Amos, as a back six coach, seems to be worth his salt, because the back six themselves are actually pretty good. So maybe just everyone has to re-audition. And if you're going to get a new coach, spend the money, get the best you can. But everyone going forward from next year has to be unified. I'm not even mad about this, because this has kind of been a habitual thing the Carlton Football Club has done for 20 years. Even when Ratton was coach, there was that period of time where you get that level of expectation and they would drop the next game. And they'd win a few. Oh, they might be. They would lose the next few.
Yeah.
So this isn't one person's fault. It just seems to be something that has been ingrained in the club for 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So I think it's mental.
Yeah, I'm with you. Very well said, mate. I like it. It was a good debut. It's good to have you on.
I appreciate the opportunity, mate. Thank you very, very much.
No worries. Have a great one.
You too, mate.
Maddie.
Hey, Terry.
How's it going?
Good. Before I mention what I wanted to talk about, I heard Jad on before, and we were talking about the unification if we get a new coach. And I reckon the problems with Alistair Clarkson, I've said it, I felt it since the start, and I know other people have, that it's the Malthouse thing. If he comes in, and Malthouse came in, and the way he spoke to guys like Mitch Robinson and Kuda and Tui and those guys, they couldn't cope with it. They hadn't been spoken to like that because they're the big legends, the big guys of the club. And they just left. They couldn't cope with that. I think with guys like Patrick Cripps, that'll happen with Alistair Clarkson. He won't put up with it. And Cripps will go, well, hang on. I'm the big man around the club. I've held this club together for 5 years or whatever.
It's a tough one.
I don't know. It's just from what you hear nowadays about that Malthouse era, I can see similarities.
I definitely can too. I'm not obsessed with Clarko, to be honest. After watching the way it exited with Hawthorn, I don't know. Like, he's been in the game a long time. My main question with Clarko is the best of Clarko behind him or ahead of him? That's just my big question. And if the best of him is behind him, then I don't know if that's the right move. That's the only question I have about it.
I'm not sure he can. He's been there, 18 years nearly? I'm not sure another 10 years is the way to go. But I also wanted to mention, last week's game was actually worse.
Okay.
How can the same team play the last 3 weeks the way we've played the last 3 weeks? Slaughtered by North, completely annihilated St Kilda, and then get robbed by the Suns. There's no common factor. It's the Jacqueline Hyde just, where's the consistency or something?
It's what's it called? It's the hallmark of a team that is sitting with 8 wins and 12 losses. I think that is exactly what it looks like. We are typical. Honestly, we are where we deserve to be. I think anyway. We are right where we deserve to be.
Yeah, from maybe the bye, I haven't thought, even if we got to finals, we don't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
There's the passion to fight for that prelim or that elimination final. We don't have it. We'll just stumble and be like, well, why were we there?
No. So now what? Are you also in the camp? Bring the kids in the next 2 weeks? What do you want to see?
I'm in the camp of just play your hearts out and play the kids, and we won't do it. We will get Murphy to 300. We'll get Betts to 350. That's what we do. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing of, we might give Betts another contract, but we want him there just in some capacity for 10 years. Why? Why say that? Just, it's another media just comment to, oh, we lost, but let's talk about Betts. Let's talk about these things.
Yeah. Fair enough, Maddie. Appreciate you coming on and sharing with me.
Thanks.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Hayden.
Tez, how are we doing?
We are all right.
Feeling pretty average?
Yep.
Yeah, nah. Not sure what to make of that one. I was kind of left feeling a bit what actually happened, what went wrong. Because after last week, I was coming into this week feeling pretty good. There was a weird calmness about this game. And so I was feeling good, and then the game started, and I don't know, it just kind of slipped away. I was kind of left after the game, like, how did we lose that after what happened last week? And then I went back, looked at the box score, and just I don't know. There's people just not giving their all, in my opinion. Like Zach Fisher, I love Zach Fisher. Like I love him as a person and like a character for the club. But what's he doing out there? He's not. Is he? I don't know. He's just. It seems like he's running. He does a couple of pressure acts, and then he gets a game. But
I mean, he's an interesting one because last week I think the week before against North. I mean, a lot of them didn't tackle.
Yeah,
a lot. Last week he had the 5 tackles, and you're thinking, oh, that's better. He's turning it around. He's turning it around. And then obviously today didn't lay tackle. Looked good in space. Don't really know if he was a forward or a mid today or a bit of. I don't really know what to make of his game, but you look at the box score, you see no tackles, and you think, oh gosh, we need more from him. Because he's better.
Exactly. He's a good player. We drafted him high for a reason, but that's just one player. I don't want to just single out players and do that kind of thing because that's just not the way to move forward. But someone that I do need to mention that I wasn't too convinced on, Nick Newman he's so consistent for us. He's kind of replaced that Cade Simpson void for me. Like someone that's just reliable down back and just I don't know. He plays with heart. He doesn't. You can see he gets in it. He was coming off the ground with a blood nose, came back on, was best on ground for us. Like guys like that is what we need. And
he was exceptional today.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he was.
He was unreal. But I just think tonight really just highlights like David Teague. All the players love David Teague. I don't doubt that. Like they probably do play for him, but his system just doesn't work. Like his defensive system doesn't work. Like we make teams look good. We're like 4-1 favorites in this game, and then we come in. Gold Coast are just working us. I had the same. I heard you say earlier. You felt like you were watching the wrong game. It felt like you were. It felt like Gold Coast were pushing, and then we were just going to hold on and then just kind of go through. But we were just holding on. They were working us. We looked shit. We were just getting worked the whole time.
It's true. I sucked myself in. I honestly, genuinely thought our defense has held up well. They've given it their all. They've obviously responded from last week.
Yeah.
Second half will come around, and then we'll get that 10, 15-minute patch and put them away. And
last week we looked so damn good. Like, how could we come in and lose to Gold Coast, who's arguably worse than North, and just dish up that? Especially after everything that we were praising them so much, things were starting to look good. Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough, mate. It is. But no, I think you've articulated it pretty well. It's
Josh,
been good.
he should have been playing the whole time. That kid is a gun. He's a goer. I like him.
You know what I love about him? He sprints with every effort. Every effort is a sprint.
He tries, and he's playing out there. You can still tell like he's still finding his way out there. But like everything he does, he tries. He tries. He'll run, even if he stuffs it up. You'll notice with like guys that come to the side that are newer, they won't be as flashy because they're not confident. They'll just give the hands. They'll do the right things. He does the right things, and then he gets rewarded for it. He still kicks goals. He's a great set shot.
Yeah. No. Spot on, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Tez. I hope your week cheers up a bit.
Fingers crossed, mate. Take it easy. Augur, Terry, this is enough punishment. Thanks for your patience. Good night. That was it. That's definitely it. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Thanks to everybody that came on. Disappointing. It's good to have something to come on and talk about with people and share it and stick together. And that's really what we've got to do. Tough times at the moment with what's going on with lockdowns and whatnot. And the idea was to watch the boys today and take our minds off it, which it did. But it pretty much just moved our minds off being frustrated at one thing into being frustrated at something completely different. So it is what it is. Thank you once again. We'll have the reviews out tomorrow and the shows will be out next week. Have a good night. Take it easy. Look after each other. And don't be afraid to reach out if you need anything. See you guys.